Hello and welcome to the next of our lecture recaps. This is a recap of our lecture on shareholder relations. So what are we talking about here? Well, we know that companies should inform and communicate with their shareholders. So they must interact with them, they must communicate with them, they must keep those shareholders informed. So who are we talking about? Well, there are the institutional shareholders, who will be the pension funds and insurance companies who often hold a lot of a company's shares. But there'll also be the individual shareholders who again also should be considered. So thinking about those institutional shareholders, first of all, remember these are often the dominant shareholders. They may hold large holdings in these businesses. There are some problems with that, however. For example, they often focus on the short term because they'll want to make sure that they're making a return for the pension holders. So they may well not focus on the long term like other shareholders would. They may also have a lack of understanding of the business. They run a pension fund, they're not involved in the industry in which the business is, and may well therefore not understand it fully. And also we have the agency problem from their point of view as well. They are managing the pension fund on behalf of those pensioners. So it may be that those institutional investors will be involved in shareholder activism, where they may well use their rights positively. They may engage with the directors. They want to try to present resolutions to make sure the business is running in the way they want it. And all in all, they may use this to challenge the board and challenge the direction that the board is heading. On the other side as well, they may have intervention. So institutional shareholders may well intervene if they feel that a strategy is not what is required or what is best for the business. So they may challenge that strategy. They may question the performance of the directors. They may block acquisitions. That happens very often where investors, institutional investors, large blocks of shareholders will stop acquisitions from happening because they don't feel that it's in the shareholders' interests. They may well question the remuneration of the directors, and they may well review the internal controls within the organisation. They will want to make sure that there is compliance with laws and regulations within the business. So we looked at how institutional shareholders can intervene in the business in illustration 1. When it comes to the meetings that the business has with the shareholders, well, that will happen first of all at the AGM. This is where they meet once per year to vote on different actions that the board intends to take. It also is an opportunity for the board to communicate with the shareholders. And in doing that, they'll have a question and answer session so that the shareholders can communicate with the board also. There may well also be EGMs throughout the year. Now these are irregular for specific events that may occur. These are usually to do with urgent issues such as takeovers that are imminent or indeed rights issues, that sort of thing. Remember that shareholders may well have proxy votes, i.e. they'll get someone else to vote for them if they're unable to attend. And the UK Code says that there should be a proxy vote for each resolution. That proxy must be recorded if the shareholders use it, and the breakdown of the votes must be published by the business. Now, there are some disclosures recommended for shareholders. The legal requirement for disclosures are the annual report and accounts. So that will be disclosed to the shareholders each year, but also there may well be voluntary disclosures that the business chooses to make. For example, a statement by the chairman or the CEO or both. There may well also be a business review in the annual report, and there may be more detailed financial statements than required. When it comes to corporate governance, they will disclose who makes up the committees, who the directors are, and the date of the AGM. So all of this will be disclosed in the annual report, but it is voluntary. So why would businesses want to disclose this information? Well, it's to help give that accountability to shareholders. Therefore, people may well be more willing to invest. It'll also help users and shareholders make investment decisions. It'll ensure that the business is compliant with the various codes, and it gives a complete view to stakeholders. Revealing all of this information ensures that the business engages in transparency, i.e. they reveal information rather than hiding it. So that was a recap of our lecture on shareholder relations.